Hey guys! Hey guys, it's FEM Forward Finances, or at least 1/3 of it. My name's Flor, and this is...
My name's Ally.
Oh, okay. So our podcast episode today is going to be about FAFSA financial aid and outside scholarships and how to properly and to the best of your ability look for any resources to help you financially through higher education. I'm Flor Rodriguez. I'm a first-gen college student studying art education here at UNC Charlotte.
My name is Ally Gillum. I am a sophomore here at UNC Charlotte, and I'm studying elementary education. Education majors. Flor, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking water.
And your little cute little cup.
Cute little fake Stanley Doop.
I'm drinking water in my not Stanley Doop.
Yes, Stanley Doop and not Stanley Doop.
Okay.
I love the versatility.
Yes. So we're gonna start off with some quick, easy 5 steps into starting your FAFSA.
Oh my gosh.
So step number 1 is creating your FAFSA ID. It's the first step going into getting your FAFSA started. Quick, easy. You gotta have an ID to be able to start your application. Step 2 is to fill out the FAFSA application. This application part is going to be the longest, but that's the important part of making sure you have all of your materials together. Do you want to talk about some of the materials?
Yeah, so whenever you fill out your FAFSA, a majority of things that you're going to need are going to be your parent's social security number, your social security number, possibly taxes and IRS forms that they have done within like the past couple years. They're going to ask you and they're going to tell you what the time limit of like the tax returns they're going to want to like bring in. And that obviously varies for each case depending on the status of your family. But for the most part, you're going to need that. You want to make sure you have your residency checked to make sure if you're applying to schools in-state or out-of-state and how they're going to send those over.
Though all of those materials will really help you manage your time better when filling out the application.
Yeah, because it could easily take you like quite a bit to fill everything out. But if you have everything kind of prepared, realistically, I guess you could finish it within an hour. That's what they say, and I feel like you definitely could. But when I first went into it, did not. It took me like a day or two to like figure everything out because I thought you had to put everything in manually. But everything's electronic now, and if you fill it out paper, they have also steps for that too. But everything's electronic, so it's a lot easier for you to actually submit everything to make sure you're getting the most and the best out of your FAFSA.
So step 3 is to select the schools to receive your FAFSA information. Like Flora just touched on, a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of different types of what the application looks like based on, the school you're going to, and you need to make sure that all of the schools receive your FAFSA application. The application is not different. All schools just need to receive the same one to make sure that the school is informed of the application you filled out. Step 4 is supply required financial information. So more of what we just touched on, it just goes into all those materials you need to make sure that the application goes smoothly. And final step is sign and submit your FAFSA. Just make sure you actually submit it, it goes through, and you're done from there.
Yeah, everything else is usually out of your hands. They'll let you know once they've received your FAFSA or if they haven't, and then that's whenever you're going to want to like actually take any action. But for the most part, that's it. And FAFSA, this goes into our next section, which is going into loans and what kind of things you're receiving from FAFSA. Depending on how you stand financially, you could either only get loans given to you or offered to you, or you could also get grants or XYZ. So the difference between a grant and a loan is a loan you have to repay, and a grant is given to you, like granted to you. But there are direct subsidized loans. I call them unsubsidized loans. I know they're called different things like within the stuff that we've done, and then direct plus loans. Let me pull this up for a quick second. So subsidized loans are based on financial need and usually offered only to undergraduate students. They have a fixed interest rate, but it doesn't start collecting interest until after you have left college. So like while you're in college and you're taking these loans out, it's staying at the same amount, but once you're out of college and you finally start paying your loans off, then it will start collecting interest. In comparison to unsubsidized loans, which does not require financial need at all, anybody can get an unsubsidized loan, and it's offered to undergraduate and graduate students. It's the same thing. The only difference is that it starts collecting interest now. And if you don't know what interest is, it's basically just like taking a little bit of a percentage of the total amount that you're taking out and then adding it later. So like it's just adding more money to pay off later, which kind of sucks a lot. But that's the difference between those. And then the direct plus loans, I've almost had to take one out before. It's basically just like having your parents co-sign an apartment in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's being like, I can't take this loan out by myself because I don't have enough like credit or this or that or enough facilities for it, so you ask someone else to sign with you. And you'd be paying it off. It doesn't affect them at all. It's just their signature on the paper. But yeah.
Awesome. What that is going to lead us into is kind of the benefits that come separate from the loans you can receive. Some of the benefits that specifically filling out the FAFSA can do that kind of pushes people towards and can encourage people to fill it out. It can do no harm. You might not take what you receive, but there's plenty of other benefits that come along with it. Filing for FAFSA early can bring you other benefits separate from what FAFSA can give you. Federal student loans have lower interest rates, which FAFSA can apply. It's the gateway to more than $150 billion in college grants. So it's a big...
please, because there's so much money that is given out over the years that like it's just not collected because people aren't applying for FAFSA or applying for certain things. So apply.
Yeah.
Be aware that there is money out there for you, like, and it's going to be offered. Just
like we said, it can do no harm. It's an application.
It'll take an hour or two out of your day, but it is worth it just to figure out like
application. Then it's out of your hands. You can gain access to private scholarships that require FAFSA. So obviously, there's many different scholarships. We are going to touch on that later. Through many different opportunities, your college or any other thing that could give it to you. But FAFSA in itself, when you complete that FAFSA, there are certain scholarships that when you completed the FAFSA, you can put that on there, and scholarships look for the people like that. You may be eligible for forgivable student loans. This is not talked about a lot, the fact that student loans can be forgivable, and it's definitely one of the more scary things that keeps people from filling out FAFSA altogether, because loans are, I think we can all agree, a scary thing to uneducated people who are not familiar with anything to do with financial aid, and that is one of the reasons we are here. But yeah, and then I think we're going to touch on some of the outside scholarships.
Yes. So I am one of many who apply for outside scholarships, and I'm also one of many who struggle with that because it was absolutely horrendous. I felt like I applied to 1 million scholarships and didn't hear back from any of them, and then I finally heard back from one, and then I feel like I finally understood how to properly go about getting scholarships and applying for them in successful ways and not wasting your time, because I believe everybody gets those ads where it's like, oh, like apply to this no essay scholarship, like everybody gets it, or XYZ, this amount of money, like it does not end up working out.
You get promised this amount of money and it's not real.
And it's not good at all. But the resources that I recommend anybody, and specifically those in North Carolina, since we are based in North Carolina, look onto to find like scholarships that are more suited towards you and find them easily are bold.org, CFNC, College Board, and honestly, literally ask anybody around you. Like, look locally first, especially, because then that already narrows down the pool of like, is it possible for me to get the scholarship? There are only X amount of people like that know about it, or only this school district can do it. So talk to your guidance counselors, talk to your college advisors, talk to your principals, talk to your teachers, talk to your coaches, mentors, literally anyone, and just be like, hey, do you know any scholarships? Like, I'm interested in going into this field, or like, this is my background, and this is something that I feel like is a demographic that could be, you know, very highly looked for.
There are a lot of field-based scholarships depending on the major that you're going into, because some majors do lack the availability of scholarships. Because I know for the education program, from what I've seen, not necessarily you might not be able to receive all of them, but we have a good variety of them being offered and out there for them to be able to be applied to.
So there are different kinds of scholarships that you can get. There are need-based scholarships, which are basically like financial aid stuff. It's like, okay, we took a look at your record, or how much money your parents make, or where you are financially, and that's a need-based scholarship. And then there's merit scholarships, which are those people that like you don't even really have to apply. It's usually just the fact that you apply to a certain school for a certain program that they will just give you money to go there.
Yeah.
So like a lot of those videos that you see online are kind of a scam, I'm not gonna lie, because they're like, I got $100,000 in college scholarships and this is how I did it, but a lot of them are merit-based. It's just because they applied to certain schools.
Yeah.
So they didn't get all of that money granted to them. It's just if they had went to that school.
Yeah, definitely make sure you read the fine print.
Please read the fine print. Make sure it's something that you want to do. And then there's other scholarships that you find outside of that. But a way to avoid scams, which maybe not necessarily a scam, but maybe don't apply to scholarships that are not worth our time. Phrases to look out for are this or apply with 100 characters or less, or no essay scholarship, an easy to apply to scholarship, sweepstakes. Like these are like most of the time just based on luck. There are no like if there are no requirements for like essays or resumes or scores or transcripts or like recommendation letters, like you should know that's kind of like a little bit of red flag, because then that means quite literally anyone can apply.
Yeah.
The pool is big. It's very little chance of you getting it. I wouldn't want you to waste your time. I wasted my time doing that. So I would not do that. Also, do not give your social security number or credit card numbers to anybody on the internet unless, you know, you have already approved that, like, this is a real scholarship. I've seen applicants and, like, people who have received the money, like, and you are completely secured. Please do not do that. It's very often for people to try to scam people who are trying to get money to go to school.
It's best to stick to giving the more private information to FAFSA, an official website where they do require more private information, but you know it is through a secure website and it is something that everyone fills out and it is very secure.
Yeah. So just basically when you avoid scams, you're also looking for good ones. So like make sure you are looking for ones that have like are asking you for a personal essay or for recommendation letters or for a resume or for a transcript. So, like, I would 100% go into looking at those first. That's, like, where you're most likely going to find them and how it best fits you particularly.
Yeah. I think one of the last things we're going to talk about before Flor closes us out is I'm going to touch on some of the common misconceptions when either filling out the FAFSA or before filling out the FAFSA. We've talked about how the FAFSA does have some difficulties to it, and there's definitely still some mechanical issues and errors produced by FAFSA. But FAFSA in itself can be, like we explained in the steps, simplified down to steps when filling it out. And it seems very overwhelming and scary to a lot of people when you're put in front of it and it's like, oh yeah, fill out all of this. Another common misconception is my grades aren't good enough for me to get financial aid. Specifically for FAFSA, grades have nothing to do with the financial aid you will receive. Other scholarships could require a certain GPA, a certain transcript, but FAFSA does not require any sort of grade GPA when filling it out based on the money you will receive or loans. There is no income cutoff for federal student aid either. Everyone has a different ability to receive different types of loan and a different amount of money. But there is no cutoff when it comes to you can't fill out this because of X, Y, and Z. FAFSA can be filled out by anyone, you just are not guaranteed to get a specific type of loan. But that's why we've said, please just fill it out. It will not hurt anything. But those are just a couple of the common misconceptions, and we're here to, make sure they're debunked, and we talk about everything, so.
Okay, well this is just basically an overview for anybody to watch. This is open to literally anybody. We try to make it as broad and easy to listen to and X, Y, Z for everyone to understand, but everyone's circumstances are different. I'm a first gen, I had to do everything by myself. A lot of people are also like that, having to figure everything out myself, so I just really never knew where to go, who to ask. So we will have specifics for people who are first gens and have mixed immigrant status families. Like I might have my social security number, but my parents might not, and that also affects FAFSA and stuff like that. So we'll have links and resources and stuff in our website and in our Instagram that we're gonna link somewhere below or at some point somewhere. It depends on where it is going to be. But I don't know where we're putting this yet.
All of it will be accessible, though.
It will be accessible. So it just depends on your circumstance, and obviously, not everyone is a first gen, so there's going to be other resources for, depending on where you want to go to also.
Yep. Well, I think we're good.
Okay. Yay!
I hope we filled everything out for y'all, and I hope we supplied some sort of help. Thanks for listening.
Bye, friends.